Hey there! Welcome back to Han Critters, the channel dedicated to talking and learning about, as well as getting to know a bunch of awesome small and large critters. So let's get to it! Today, I'm joined by Spaz, and as you can probably guess, this video will be all about her. We have had Spaz for going on 2 years this October, I believe. She has become an amazing family pet, but she hasn't always been. We got Spaz from one of my coworkers, and when we got her, she was so uncomfortable no one could get anywhere near her for the first week or so without her hissing at them. I was the first one in the family to see and hold her, and she did hiss at me too. I just didn't let it faze me. She was a little kitten. The worst she could do was scratch me. It didn't take her long to adjust to me, and after that she would dig her claws into my shoulder and hiss at everyone and everything that would come near us. That's why we named her Spaz. It was a very fitting name. She has definitely warmed up to the family, even the dog, and people in general, but she still manages to live up to her name. She isn't a scared or skittish Spaz anymore. Now she is a playful and sometimes hyper Spaz. She is a cat, so like all cats, she zooms around the house at random times when she feels like it. But she also seems to be incapable of walking slowly up the stairs. She bolts up the stairs at full speed every time she comes up them. I have had a fair few cats in my life, so when I say that she is the best cat I've ever had, maybe with the exception of my childhood and teenage years cat Frankie, but this video is about Spaz, not Frankie. But if you're curious about him and would like to know more, let me know in the comments and I'll make a video about him. It's with a lot of cats to compare her to. So here are the reasons why I think she is the best cat ever. Number 1, she comes when she's called.
Spazzy! Spazzy! Come here, baby girl! Come here, sweetie! Come on, Spazzy! Wow! Spazzy! Come here! Come on, sweetie! Good girl, come here! Oh, come here, sweetie! Oh, yeah, come on! Oh, good girl!
Number 2, she is so affectionate. Number 3, she takes treats so awesomely. Number 4, she talks back. Number 5, she is just so pretty. I mean, look at her. She is just so gorgeous. That's my pretty girl. The last reason I have for now, but there are really a million reasons why I love her, is she sleeps in the most entertaining positions. What also makes Spaz such a good girl is she is a great mommy. Yep, that's right, Spaz is a mommy. On August 12th, my husband woke up early for work and quickly had to wake me up to let me know that Spaz had finally had her kittens. She was starting her 80th day, at least, of pregnancy, when the average pregnancy for a cat is between 58 and 67 days. She was looking more and more uncomfortable every day. So it was a relief to find out that she had had them, finally, until I learned where she had them. See, queens, that's the technical term for a pregnant cat, tend to like small, dark, out-of-the-way places to have their kittens. Places that feel safe. So we made a nice spot for her in the corner of a storage room. She had a nice, soft, semi-enclosed spot with food, water, and a litter box nearby, blocked off from the free-roam dog. It would have been a great spot for her to have her kittens. We also set up a temporary spot for her in a spot that she already liked to hide, with a nice soft blanket for her to have the kittens on if she chose to. And then we could move her and the kittens with the blanket they're on into the room we made up. Despite those two perfectly suitable spots to have her kittens, Spaz, as with all animals, has her own mind and is going to have her kittens wherever she feels like it. And this is where she chose. Yes, that is our hallway. The open to all people and a medium to large dog at all times hallway. Spaz has 5 kittens in total, all of which were born in that hallway. Then she proceeded to move 4 of them into the spot in Simon's closet to get them cleaned up, leaving and seemingly forgetting one in the hallway. So Dave and I picked the one in the hallway up and put it with Spaz and the rest of the kittens and brought all the kittens, Spaz, and the blanket they were on down to the room I had made up for Spaz and the kittens to be. Once we got Spaz and the kittens down to the room, we focused our attention back on the kittens Spaz seemed to have abandoned. We tried to get Spaz to let it eat, but whenever we got close, she would move away. So Dave got a syringe with some lukewarm milk, and we managed to get a couple drops into its mouth. We then put the kitten as close to Spaz and the other kittens as possible, and left Spaz to do her thing. When I came back, all 5 kittens were clean and eating. So yay! So, for any of you that have not seen less than 1 day old kittens before, now you have. Alrighty, well, she's clearly given up on cooperating for the camera, but anyway. Now, I'm going to go show you the room that we have set up for Spaz and the kittens. So, if any of you have a cat with kittens on the way, this can give you an idea of what you can do to prepare for it. Okay, everyone, so I'm going to head into the cat/kitten room that we got made up here, just to give you an idea of what it looks like, and if you're expecting kittens, you can get an idea of what a nesting box is like. So we have this little room just off our garage. It's super handy. We got really lucky with this. Then we've got a door here that we can close if we have to keep her in there. But for the most part, we leave it open. Alright. See, Spaz? Yep, we're going in to see your babies. And then we also have this little barrier thing here. Not really, it won't deter the dog too much if she really wants to get in, but for the most part it's good. Litter box. And then so over here we have just an area that I set up for the cat and kittens. As they move around more, I'll expand the soft blanketed spot for them, but for now this is fine. Some puzzle mat with a blanket over top, and then basically 2 little nesting boxes here. I have just a Costco plastic container that I put on its side and put a blanket down. Same with this one. They don't use this one really, but I have it more set up for when they get bigger and they want to go sleep somewhere else and they're moving around. But yes, it's basically all you really need is a room that you're not worried about the floor and the walls, and that is out of the way, people aren't always going into, that can grow with them. I mean, is always nice. The fact that this room is big enough that when they get bigger, they can still run around and play in here. That'll be great. But yeah. So for the nesting boxes or whatnot, birthing boxes, whatever you want to call them, you just want to make sure that the blankets that you have down are blankets that you're not really too worried about, because the kittens will be peeing and pooping on them, and yeah, and if you're lucky enough to actually have your cat give birth in there, it's also going to be really messy, and you're just never going to use that. Never going to want to use that blanket for anything other than cats again. But yeah, so I'm going to put you down and get set up to introduce you to the kittens. Alright. Alrighty guys, so the first kitten I'm going to introduce you to is this little guy here, or girl. It is mostly black, except for it's got some white on each of its feet here. And come here, sweetie. Oh! And a white stripe on its nose. And if you look, it won't really let me show you, but Mommy's getting in the way now. But it's got white on its belly there. Yeah. Yeah. So, if you guys want to guess at what that little guy there is, if it's a boy or a girl, or what we should call it temporarily, just leave it in the comments. Next up, we have this little one here. And if I am correct about, if my suspicions are correct about this one, I believe this is the runt that Dave and I had to help get its mommy's attention. Yeah, this little guy here is mostly white with some either gray or black. Oh, watch your claws, baby. Either gray or black on its feet and its tail and its ears, and it's gonna be a fluffy little thing. And as you can see they're slowly starting to walk, but they're still pretty wobbly. Okay. Next up we have the biggest of the bunch. This is mostly white, starting to get some orange coming through on its ears here, but aside, and some striping on its tail. But for the most part, I suspect this one was the firstborn, but it's definitely the biggest of them all. Opened its eyes first. Overall, it's one of my favorite babies. Yeah. Get that wobbly guy go, or girl, whichever. Why don't you take a guess? The next kitten I'm going to introduce you to looks a lot like its mommy. This little one here is calico like she is. The cutest little orange spot on the top of the head. But yeah, lots of different colors so far coming through, and it's only a couple weeks old. So it'll be cool to see how many colors he has, or she has. Yeah, another one of my favorites just because it's just so darn cute. Yep, there's that baby. There you go. But yeah, anyway. Yeah, last one we gotta show you here is this little guy here. Not a lot of difference between this guy and this guy, or girl, whichever. Darker tail, darker feet, darker ears. But aside from that, they are pretty similar. I get the two mixed up quite often. But yeah, that's the last of the white. And that is also the last of the 5. So, we got the white little guy here with more dark. The white little guy there with less dark that I think was also the runt. The calico that looks like mommy. The black with a little bit of white that's getting climbed on by its sibling. And then, the big, fat, pure white with orange ears right there. And then mommy is getting distracted by the finger pointing at the kids. Yes, but that's okay, because we want to give mommy some love because she let us manhandle her babies. Right? Right, that's a good girl. Yes. So there you go. So this is the kittens at 2 weeks old. They all have their eyes open. They all are starting to walk, wobble, or wobble walk around. But for the most part, they don't really leave the blanket here yet. So they're not wobbling, or they're not wobble walking too much yet. Most of everything that they do with their lives is spent on this space. But as they get bigger, they'll be able to walk on the rest of this space and then go play with this stuff over there and sleep in that one if they so choose. But yes, so this is the babies and this is Mommy. Yeah, that's some good kitties. Yeah. So that is my baby girl Spaz and her babies. We do not know what ones are boys and what ones are girls, but when they're big enough to find out, and when I have done more research on how to figure the gender out of young kittens, I'll do up a video letting you know. Until then, feel free to leave your guesses in the comments. Also, even though we will be rehoming these kittens once they're old enough to leave Mommy, we still need something to call them in the meantime, so why don't you give us some suggestions in the comments? I'll do a shout out to the names we pick in a future video. Remember, if you're in the middle to northern British Columbia area, or even other areas if you feel like traveling, and have been thinking about getting a kitten, these ones will be ready by the end of October or the beginning of November. They will not be spayed, neutered, or vetted, but the goal is to have them be fully litter trained and on hard food before they go to their forever homes. Well guys, that's all I have for you today. Thanks so much for watching, and if you liked that video, be sure to hit that like button, and if you haven't already, subscribe and ring the bell so you can be notified when we have a new video, which should be every week. And if there are specific videos you'd like to see in the future, let me know in the comments and we'll see what we can do. Thanks again, bye for now!